What's up, everyone? I'm Jedi Jazzy, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk about how much Game of Thrones has put on everyone's shoulders. I'm sure everybody is thinking about it. Last night was, crazy. The last episode was definitely a finale, and I just need to. Thinking about it just already makes me want to take a moment to myself. And so I was looking at everybody's Twitter replies and responses, and I'm just like, hey, everybody needs a support group. I see that everybody is very traumatized and is going through a lot with this episode. So here I am to talk about your feelings, everyone. I just want to recap real quick. The last 3 episodes were probably the most mind-blowing out of the entire season, in my opinion. Episode 8, Hardhome. This episode, Cersei was thrown in prison and she refuses to confess her sins, blah blah blah. Honestly, Cersei, you deserve every single bit of what's coming to you, and I have no pity or, no emotions for this woman at all. She absolutely drives me insane. Great actress, though. She really makes you hate her guts. Daenerys, she takes in Tyrion, which I'm extremely happy about. I'm very excited about Tyrion working with Dany as soon as she accepted him into her very royal court, I guess. He's probably one of the smartest characters here, and one of my favorites for sure. Tyrion knows what he's doing. He knows how to run a kingdom. Seeing him as the king's hand, he was right. He does know how to give advice. And the best part about episode 8, the White Walker scene. That is some crazy shit. I can't believe that Jon survived that, to be honest. It was beyond crazy, and I was mind blown. Now it's just if the world was attacked by White Walkers, I can't even begin to. Let me just take a drink to that real quick. The White Walker scene, the whole army, the whole attacking the Wildlings was probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire Game of Thrones season 5. I was mind blown after it, and Jon Snow's face, he's just like, how are we going to deal with this? This is going to be crazy. And explaining it to everyone back home, especially now that he has boats filled with wildlings and a watch that he has no idea how they're going to react to this. And, I feel very bad for Jon Snow. Oh, jeez. Poor Jon Snow. Who was also one of my favorite characters, just so you guys didn't obviously see that in my eyes. Episode 9. Stannis. I don't even know where to begin to describe this motherfucker, honestly. He's really out of his mind. He decides to sacrifice his very beautiful, very sweet daughter to this fire god. And, wow. It was probably one of the most depressing scenes I've ever witnessed in Game of Thrones since the Red Wedding. I have no idea what goes through this guy's head. I'm sure he's even confused on who this fire god is. Melisandre has she's really put her religious views deep into Stannis' core, and he just really believes he should be king, and to do that he should sacrifice his own daughter. She's king's blood and he needs help. His people are abandoning him, and it's just he doesn't know what more to do with this. And what I feel is Stannis is an idiot, and he should have just went back to the wall and regrouped, and got his shit together. That's all he had to do. That's all there is to it. And no, he's very big-headed and stubborn, and he was just like, nope, I'm not gonna, why should I go back, and I'm not gonna be known as the king who runs. And I guess it's just well, you're gonna be known as the motherfucking king who loses and dies. You have no troops. People just witnessed you kill your daughter. Let's see how many people are around after that, because I know my ass would be around. Daenerys flies away on a dragon who saves her life. It was a cool scene. It was. I had no doubt in my mind that she was going to get saved. There's no way that Dany was going to die, obviously. It was cool. She survived. Awesome. Then that city of Meereen is just way too far gone. So Jaime goes to get his niece in Dorne, and I believe it was within episode 8 and episode 9 that you see him, and episode 10 that you see him go through this whole charade of, you know, trying to understand his daughter and niece. Sorry. Aria is definitely not over her revenge for the death of her man. So she is trying to find ways to kill Marcella, the princess, and just to get back at Cersei and the Lannisters because she believes that it's their fault that he was murdered, when clearly it was trial by combat. So it's not technically murder if you volunteer to get killed. I mean, whatever. She really needs to get stuff straight in her head because they really have nothing to do with it. I mean, who hates the Lannisters? Everyone. But come on. You're gonna poison their daughter, really? Or their niece, or whatever. Princess Marcella. Don't. Why? Why do you gotta hurt her for? Episode 10. Episode 10. This episode was beyond crazy. Stannis gets abandoned by his troops. He dies. That's what it looks like. He dies. It seems as though Stannis is killed by the hands of Brienne, and she did it because she was the king's hand of his brother, and I like this. I like this a lot. It definitely made me feel good. Stannis is a piece of crap, and, you know, he was a very confused man, and I'm honestly happy he's gone. Ramsay definitely had the win over Stannis. I don't like talking about Ramsay, which is why I haven't spoken of him in the last 2 episodes, and what he has done to Sansa. I really do like Sansa. She's one of my favorite characters. But, God, this guy is so sick and twisted. It's just like, I have so many very strong words to describe Ramsay. But in episode 10, Ramsay's girlfriend, I have no idea who she is to him, honestly. He's a psycho. She gets killed by Theon, who finally decided to grow balls. If Ramsay cut those off too, I have no idea. I know he cut something else. I don't know if he left the balls or not. Yeah, apparently Theon does have balls. If theoretically or not, it's still there somewhere. He saves Sansa and kills this really also very psycho girlfriend of Ramsay, and Sansa and Theon jump the wall of the castle, which I have no idea if they survived or not, but I'm sure they did. It's kind of obvious that they survived. I mean, they are very important characters then. It would be really messed up if they that was their last moment, was just, let's just kill ourselves. I mean, Ramsay would do much worse. Let's just fucking end it now. But I'm glad that they decided to, or Theon decided to be there for Sansa, finally, you know, to make amends for his betraying the Starks. Like, this is something that, you know, I really liked that Theon did. Finally, something I like that Theon did, because Theon is such a stupid ass. I hate that guy sometimes. Marcella is poisoned by Aria, whatever her name is, and I'm pretty sure she dies. It looks like she dies. I never know with this show. Okay, everybody fucking dies, or seemingly dies, because it always cuts out and doesn't show their full death. Yeah. So apparently, I just wanted that boat to make a straight U-turn and was just like, hey, you know, what the fuck? I'm glad that Jaime got to have a father-daughter moment, I guess. He definitely deserved it. He's been a good man the last couple of seasons, and I mean, before he was a douche, but now it's just like, I do feel sorry for Jaime Lannister, and I do like him. I really hope that he's okay once he gets back to Westeros, because I know that the religious group over there is going absolutely psychotic. They are definitely taking control of the city, and the royals have no power over them, which is kind of how religious people work, honestly. Speaking of the religious people, Cersei finally decides to confess her sin, her one sin, we all know Cersei has many, many sins, but of course the sin that she got thrown in there for, plus she decides to deny the I screwed my brother sin, and the children are incest. She denies it, and I'm sure he'll find out sooner or later. So she gets to do this walk of atonement, and she is butt-ass naked walking through the streets, and like everybody's, you know, treating her how she should be treated, honestly, if not worse. Sorry, I really hate her. I felt nothing for Cersei as she was walking through those streets. I feel like they should have really went a little harder on her. And now that she's back in her castle, it's crazy that the mountain zombie, or whatever he is, apparently he can't talk or whatever. He is her new bodyguard. I'm actually pretty excited to see what goes down with that, honestly, if he really does protect her to the end and kills that one lady that beat the crap out of her with a wooden spoon, Spanish style. Aria kills the man that she had this revenge on, and apparently she took a life she was not supposed to take, and she suffers the consequences and goes blind, it seems, as that's just how it ended. And I think Aria, I mean, she definitely didn't know what she was getting into. She wanted to be trained to kill, is what she wanted. She didn't want this whole all these shenanigans of the many-faced god. She just wanted to complete her list, and I definitely love Aria. I honestly want her to complete her list. I hope that this gets her far, and you know, I kind of picture Aria now as this blind, badass assassin that she's going to become, and I don't know if she's going to leave that house, the black and white house, or not, but it'd be pretty sweet if she did, and like just went on to become this really crazy ninja. And the final scene of episode 10, the scene that everybody has gone completely psycho over. Jon Snow. I heard in the book that it ends with Jon Snow blacking out. So I have hope that this is not the end of Jon Snow. The death of Jon Snow was very unexpected. I was expecting him to have this crazy battle with the White Walkers and save Westeros and just, you know, beat the most sexiest, handsome... I'm so sorry, I just love Kit Harington so much. I really can't get over the fact that the Watch just can't understand that what Jon Snow is doing is trying to protect his people. He's trying to be a leader, he's trying to be a hero, he's trying to save everybody, and people are just so blinded by their hatred for each other that they can't understand that there's a way bigger threat out there than the Wildlings. There's a way bigger threat out there than the Night Watch. You know, they need to stop fighting and they need to fight the enemy. And, you know, the White Walkers don't give a shit who they're killing, they just want to kill. And that's what Jon Snow's trying to tell everybody. The fact that Melisandre is there at the wall gives me hope as well, because I know that she had some sort of vision for Jon Snow. It's a good coincidence that she's there as this happens, but the fact that Ollie joined in on the stabbing of Jon Snow, it broke my heart. I mean, I know, I'm sorry that your parents are dead, bro, but you really need to move on and get over it. I mean, if you saw a White Walker, you'd shit yourself, and you'd probably be holding on to Jon Snow's legs for the rest of your life. So, Jon Snow. If anybody is as traumatized by Game of Thrones right now as I am, please leave a comment or talk to me on Twitter or Instagram. This is definitely something that I know I'm going to be talking about for the next week. It's such an impacting episode, and I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions on everything. I want to hear everything. I want to talk Game of Thrones, so let's talk Game of Thrones. I really appreciate you watching this entire video. I love to catch up on shows and, you know, express my opinion, and I usually do it on Twitter, but this is definitely another way to get my opinion out a little bit quicker. So please, come talk to me. I'd really like to know what everybody's thinking about episode 10 of Game of Thrones, the season finale, and you guys know my opinion, you know how affected I am by it. Please tell me how affected you are by it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.